Like, what is your motivation as a professional golfer now?
It's the same as it was then, as when I return my playing. I try and peak 4 times a year. I try and peak for those 4 majors. And every event I enter is to win. So, I use the tournaments as, you try and win them. And I have won tournaments in the past. But in the end, I'm trying to get mind, body, and spirit all to come together for 4 weeks a year. If I get in for those 16 days, I think I'm going to have a pretty good career if I did that. And I think I've had a pretty good career so far. So still learning. It's one of the great things about golf is you can learn from every round you play in. So it's been just a fun ride, to go out there and compete against the best players in the world and to have the turnover. Because when I first came out here, all the guys that I knew and competed against are now on the senior tour. And now, my era guys my hardcore guys I went after and we battled for about a decade together, are now in their 40s. And now there's a whole new young crop, and I'm the old guy now. So, there's guys out here in their teens, and it's hard to fathom, but the roles have been reversed and a whole new crop. Good stuff.
So 18 majors, how important is that to you, and what would that mean to you as far as your golf career, your overall golf career?
Well, I think that's the holy grail in our sport. I just think that's the number. I think it was 14 in tennis until Fed came along and drove it to 16. I guess in the NBA, it's probably 11 championships that Bill Russell has. There's certain things that in certain sports that are kind of like the holy grails that if you somehow get there in the biggest events, you've got more than anybody else. In golf, it's 18. Nobody's done it better than Jack has. Nobody's done it as long and as consistent. What he's done for, 25 years, has never been matched. So it took him a long time to get it done, and I'm fortunate I've only been out here for 15 years. So I feel like I got plenty of time ahead of me. Just got to keep putting yourself there and there and there. You're not going to win every one, but you have to be there in order to win them. Because sometimes you don't have to go out there and outright win the tournament. Sometimes they may be gifts. It happened with Jack, and it's happened to me. Just need to put yourself there. And Jack has done it better than anybody else has. Nobody's put themselves there on the back nine on Sunday of a major better than he has. And that's kind of always been the goal for me.
What still keeps your passion about the game? What is it about just golf in general that keeps you coming back and that keeps that love for the sport?
One is learning. Is that I learn from something from every single practice session. Something my dad has always tried to make me understand is that you can always take something out of every practice session, whether it's good or bad. Some days you go out there and hit it awful in practice. Some days you stripe it. Well, there's a reason why there's both. And then from there, probably the next step for me is the competition. Is that I've always been one who'd much rather practice and play because I want to play in tournaments. I want to be prepared for events. And that goes all the way back to my junior golf days. So in junior golf, it was my whole year, golf-wise, was predicated on Junior World. So I only had one event a year to peak for, and I better get it done. So then became the U.S. Junior, then became the U.S. Amateur. So when I turned pro, I'm like, sweet, now I got 4 chances. I don't have to have my whole year wrapped around just one tournament. So it's just a love of practice for me. I just absolutely love it. I love going out there and learning and applying what I had learned from all my practice sessions in tournament golf and seeing what I got.
When your career is all said and done, what would you like your legacy to be in the world of golf?
Well, one, I'd like to have more majors than anybody else. And number 2, that I help grow the game around the world. Brought to people that traditionally hadn't played, hadn't even thought about playing, and are now playing. I would like to be that type of inspirational person where I affected their life in a positive way. That they went in and participated in the game of golf and found the excitement and passion that I had. Doesn't mean you have to play it at the same level, but just being a part of it. And to me, that's pretty neat when over the years from being out here to seeing how the galleries have changed, the demographics have changed, the ethnicities have changed, and that's really cool. That's cool to see that golf is looking more like America.